why you shouldn't buy stock in LinkedIn. All right, I'm going to talk kind of on technical and as in LinkedIn SME. You know, I know the ins and outs of LinkedIn because I spend about 10 hours a day on LinkedIn for at least the last 2 years. Okay, before that was more sporadic, but for the last 2 years, I've used LinkedIn as in a way you use Outlook or Gmail, exploring every part of it, uncovering every stone. And I probably know LinkedIn better than their developers and anyone else at LinkedIn, because unlike them, I'm on it, using it, testing it, tweaking it, putting it through its tests. So the biggest problem about LinkedIn that you need to understand as an investor, or you need to understand as an individual, the architecture is 9 years old. The database that they're running, okay, and their system was built basically 9 years ago. So they are what I call a first generation crowdsourcing or social media site. Okay, they're a first generation. And just like we have seen on Facebook, first generation social media sites are inherently flawed because they were pioneers and they didn't have foresight to see the problems. So the biggest problem that LinkedIn has is the very fact that they are, you know, a pioneer product. Now, I believe, now that I'm looking at this and seeing, you know, it's like, because if you do any due diligence in reading up on LinkedIn, which you probably didn't, and I put links here on the hate mail, and I don't hate LinkedIn. I hate their terms of agreement, and I hate their customer service policies. Let's be very clear on that. I don't hate LinkedIn. I don't hate the CEO, even though I don't think he's a very good one, since if he can't respond to someone who sends him an email, then I don't have a lot of respect for someone like that. I think anyone who doesn't connect with their customers, and if you're involved in the lean startup methodology, you know, like Steve Blank and Dave McClure, then you know customer is everything. And the moment you start dissing your customer, it's a very, very important sign. And I don't know how they run their customer service, but their customer service is completely flawed and don't communicate. And how do I know this? Because basically what I realized is because they suspend your account, and if you put a logo and play with it, or try it. If you don't believe me, have fun. Put a logo, put your corporate logo, or put your title in your last name, like whatever. If you're, let's say you're a business developer or whatever, put your title, and then, have someone flag your account. Now, you will not get a notification saying, oh, by the way, please fix your profile. No. What they'll do is just suspend you. Now, if you read my blog, I have a very simple solution that would take less than a day's worth of coding, and it would save them hundreds of thousands of dollars, and probably from this ever happening, which is simple. LinkedIn has an anonymous view function feature, right? So as a user, you can choose to be anonymous. Now, it strikes me as kind of funny. When I have a choice to be anonymous, I can't have a choice to be flexible on the way my header looks on my page, right? As long as what I'm doing isn't pornographic or isn't illegal or isn't misrepresentative, which I believe that's the purpose of those terms of agreement, is to stop that from happening, right? To be unprofessional. Then I believe that they have the right to restrict or even suspend accounts. I work on sites. I work as a quality assurance guy, and I believe you need to have rules, okay? However, when those rules basically violate rights of an individual, then there's a problem. And especially when they have allowed the rules to be violated, right, for so long, which they have. And also, thirdly, when they are not fair and equitable to everyone. Because basically, if you are a lion, or if you are a top LinkedIn.com user, you are free to add that information to your naming fields, okay? And I did as a premium user. You can't do this as a regular user, but as a premium user, you can actually get significant. You now can't get full search, and that's the reason why I expect there's over 100,000 accounts that are actually in violation, because I was able to just simply in 5 minutes do some searches like .com, searches like Yahoo, Gmail, right? On their website, and actually find over 25,000 violations, right? In 5 minutes, just doing some quick, searches. So basically, the fix is this. Going back to the fix, I'll talk one way and then go back. So stay with me here, right? My brain works. I can go off on a tangent and then get back to where I was. Some people can't do that, and it bugs the heck out of them. So I hope that's not you. I apologize if it does. But basically, the fix is this. You write a little simple code, and coders could do it really easy, that basically allows anyone who's a customer service rep to, you have a list of violations. So one violation would be naming and logo. So instead of just suspending the account and then creating more work for customer service, because the moment you suspend the account, what happens? You got to get an email. So now customer service gets this email. They got to respond to this email. They got to figure out what's wrong, and they got to it takes time. Now, a better way is to do it automated, where the customer service rep basically selects the violation. If it's a naming or logo violation, then ultimately he checks a box, does a search. So this person could so basically you could send out 100,000. I mean, here's a way to fix your 100,000 errors. This is what I emailed them. If you read my post, you'll see the letter I wrote them. You do a search, you select violation. Now, instead of suspending the account, what it does is it automatically locks their account in anonymous view, right? And ultimately, they, even if they email or anything, it's going to be anonymous view. And they say, listen, you are locked in anonymous view because of failure to comply with the terms of agreement on the naming and logo rights. So you need to use just your first name, last name in your account, and you need to put a logo. You need to put up an image of you and not a company or or anything else. Okay, and hit send. So when the user gets the form, it would basically click, you go to an online form that now is attached to your profile explaining this, and you simply check the box saying I agree and I've modified the my account, and I comply with I'm complying with terms of agreement. I apologize, I did not know this, because most people don't read the terms of agreement, they're not aware of terms of agreement. And then you click that and you're back and going. Now, what did I just do? I just eliminated a very important step, the human step, right? And I'm letting basically creating a system to fix itself. Now, that would take all of 1 day to code, not even that, morning to code, and ultimately it would save them in customer service and stuff like this in amounts you can't even imagine. So, as a person who is involved in developing, and guess what? Because of this, I'm developing a new kind of LinkedIn, one that is open. So think of it as the open LinkedIn. One where you can create as many accounts as you want. One where you can create business accounts, where you can create product accounts, where you can create promotional accounts. One where you can launch ideas, one in which you can crowdfund. I mean, these are all these things that I wanted LinkedIn to do. These are the things that I've sent out and try to reach out to their CEO to work on, because I saw a great opportunity. And the very fact that they have terms of agreement that prohibit all these things means the only thing for me to do is to go out and build it ourselves with foundups.com.